Hello guys and welcome back to my channel, and if you're wondering where I've been for the last 4 weeks, well, your questions will likely be answered in this video, so stay tuned and please leave a comment and a like if you haven't already. So where have I been the last few weeks? Well, for those of you who don't know, I really struggle with my mental health and it's been a battle for years of my life, and this is in no way a video for sympathy or attention seeking or anything like that. This is just how I feel, and this is my platform where I get to discuss what I want to discuss, and if what I have to say can help any of you guys or anyone else, then the video was worth making in itself. So I struggle with depression, anxiety and panic disorder, and panic disorder is something that really makes life tough to deal with sometimes, because that is probably the thing that I struggle with the most. And essentially I get panic attacks a lot throughout the day. I get very panicky in crowds, if I'm in a situation where I'm not comfortable, if I'm not used to it, and it makes me feel kind of pathetic. It makes me feel like a child, because I can't just go out and do something that anyone else would not think twice about. For me, I get so panicky about things like that, and I hide it because I don't want to be known as that person, I guess. Likewise, depression really makes my life difficult to deal with at times, as even though I'm very fortunate, I live in a nice house, a nice area, I have great family, great friends, I can still feel so low sometimes and not even get out of bed. And that used to really upset me and irritate me, because there are people in worse situations than me all across the world, and I really used to beat myself up about it because they're going through so much, and compared to what I'm dealing with, it felt really insignificant. And it wasn't, you know, it's not like that. Depression doesn't work like that, and that's something I've really come to understand over the last few years, that there's no cause and effect relationship with depression. And there's no such thing as their life's much worse, so they have worse depression or anything like that. Depression just is, okay? It's just there. You can't control it, and it's horrible. And I'm not speaking for everyone. This is just my own personal experiences of depression. But a couple of years ago, I tried to kill myself a few times. I self-harmed on many occasions. I just didn't want to be here. I really didn't. And then when lockdown hit, I was broken. And I just didn't want to carry on at all. There was nothing in this world that I wanted to live for. And feeling that low for so long as well, you know, it doesn't matter what position you're in life, because it's in your mind, it's in your head, and you can't escape that. I'd been seeing a therapist for many years before any of this all kicked off, before my suicide attempts or anything like that, and I was really at the edge of my tether. I was really frustrated because it felt like I was doing everything. I was exercising, I was taking my meds, I was talking to people, and it still felt like the world was against me. And I hated the world because I thought the world was out to get me. And it wasn't. It wasn't. The world's cruel. Life is cruel. And being a man as well, mental health isn't as recognised in men, I don't feel. There's a lot of videos on this platform about people telling their own mental health stories, and there is not many that I could find from a male perspective, which is also why I wanted to do this video. Because whether you're female or male and you're experiencing depression, panic, anxiety, anorexia, bipolar, anything, you are not on your own. And that is so important to remember. You are not alone. There are so many people out there going through what you're going through, and that doesn't devalue what you're going through, but it just means that you're not the only one. And there is someone out there who will understand and wants to understand, and so many people around you, whether you see it or not, whether you know it or not, who will want to help. When I started telling people about how I was feeling, people bent over backwards for me. And again, I'm very fortunate to have that. I'm very fortunate to have people who were going to such lengths to make sure that I was okay. And people really took me by surprise. And I think that's something that could very well happen for you if you're experiencing this. People can surprise you with how they understand what you're going through. I think a lot of the time also with mental health, people expect there to be that moment where everything went wrong. And I think very few people have that, and I don't really feel like I have that. I think there were trigger events leading up to how I was feeling and how I still feel today. But I can't pinpoint an exact moment where I went from happy and carefree to this. Which is really frustrating, because if you don't know where the problem started, it makes it harder to fix. And one of the things that I really struggled with was accepting that maybe I can't fix it. Maybe I can't fix the way that I think, the way that I am. And it's about learning to deal with how I think and how I am. And even though now I'm in a far better place than I was 2 years ago, I still get days or even weeks at a time when I feel awful. I feel so low and just don't know what to do with myself. And then I'll have a few weeks where everything's great and I love everything and I love everyone. And then I have another few weeks where everything sucks again. And I used to find that really frustrating, but it's who I am. And people look at mental health differently. For me, it's a part of me. It's like if I was missing an arm, or if I had epilepsy, or something like that. I can't remove it. I can't get it back. I can't change it. It's just there. And again, as a man, I felt really emasculated and really down, because society tells men that's not how they're supposed to be. Men are supposed to be strong and blah, 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 all those cliches. That's an absolute load of bollocks. Absolute load of bollocks. It's all socially constructed. And if you're a man, or even if you're a woman watching this and you feel like you're going against something because of how you're feeling, you're not. There's a reason you're feeling the way that you're feeling. There's nothing wrong with how you feel. This video isn't very structured and a bit of a mess, but I don't want it to be, because that's how my head is. My head is very jumbled and messy. And that's how a lot of mental health is. I started writing notes for this and I just couldn't, because I felt like I just needed to get it out. And I wanted to be honest with you guys as to why I am like this, why I sometimes go weeks without uploading, why then you'll get 3 uploads in a month. There's not a day goes by where I don't have a thought about doing something. Not in a depressed way, not in a way like I ever would, because I wouldn't. Because I could never do that to my family, to my friends, or even to myself. So I have better mechanisms to deal with when I have a thought like that than I did a few years ago. And that's down to hard work. It really is. And it's, it's really hard to hear that. There is no easy way out. It's so hard. But in my experience, having broken through that, being in the position that I am now, I know that I could basically do anything that I set my mind to, and I feel so much stronger, so much happier, and more content in myself and my own life. And I know that life doesn't always go to plan. Shit happens. There's no point in stressing about things that I can't change. So I am going to leave some links and some numbers down in the description below if you are feeling in any way depressed, anxious, panicky, any of those dark thoughts. Please talk to someone is always my first port of call. Please talk to someone. Do not suffer with it on your own. Okay, and it's such a cliche, but talking is honestly the best medicine for things like this. Speak to your doctors. The medication that they can put you on is incredible. I didn't want to take it at first because I thought that it would take away from who that I was. And I had a lot of reservations about taking it, but it saved my life in many, many occasions. And the NHS, for all that they're going through right now, they'll still have time for you, which I think is incredible. And even if you're not feeling like this, if you think one of your mates might be, or your son, your daughter, your mum, your aunt, your uncle, ask them if they're all right, and then ask them again. Because asking twice is so important. Asking the first time, everyone will just go, yeah, I'm all right. I always do this. I always go, you sure? Because then they can really think. And if they want to talk to you, they can. And if they don't want to talk to you, that's also okay. It's up to them. but they know you're there if they need you. So yeah, very different video to what I normally do, but I feel like this was a topic that I really wanted to discuss. And it's not my best put together video at all. It's not very well structured, but I just had some things that I needed to say and wanted to say. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now. But if any of you ever need anyone to speak to, again, I will link several websites and numbers down in the description below. Speak to your family, your friends, and my inbox is always open on my Instagram, Billy_Low37. Whether you know me or not, I will try my best to help you in any way that I can. And yeah, you're not on your own. Never are you on your own. You can feel so lonely and have no one, but there will always be someone who cares. So never forget that. Until the next time, guys, I will see you again very soon. Thank you for listening.